Hello all, and welcome to Eye of the Storm, Episode 4, The Contest. So, as you can see, this video is actually a little shorter than normal. And that's because I only have a few things that I want to talk about. This is not going to be the traditional Eye of the Storm episode. There's only going to be a few things I want to talk about, and then we'll jump right into the contest, which is what you all came for. Basically, I'm just going to talk a little bit about Gencon and the spoilers. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Hex Tech Open that happened last weekend, the format of this show, and its future, and then we'll go right into that contest. So let's start with the Gencon and spoilers. Now, as you may or may not know, I was not able to attend Gencon. That's not really abnormal. But a lot of people did, and apparently they had a lot of fun with the new set, and there were a lot of spoilers. I learned how to follow someone on Twitter, and I learned how to tweet so that I could enter one of the contests, and so that I could get some of the spoilers, because they were showing the images, which it's not the same when you just see it kind of written out. You want to see the actual card itself. So it was a lot of fun to get to see all these different spoilers, and I'm really excited about Set 2. I know that when Set 2 was first announced, I was kind of on the fence. I mean, on the one hand, I did understand the point of view that we are still in closed beta, but now that I've seen a lot of the spoilers, I fell off the fence. I want Shattered Destiny to be here right now. So I'm super excited about it. On to the next topic. The Hex Tech Open was in my opinion, was a phenomenal success. They didn't have a major issue until round 4, where challenge being difficult, which is the tournament system that they have to use for how people get matched up. But it was a lot of fun, really cool people, and see some really cool decks. And I was actually surprised by how the decks that I was seeing and the decks that were actually making top 8 and winning, where there were a lot of commonalities in what we expected. There were decks that surprised us and innovated and showed that the meta could continue to kind of move around, and that's just before Set 2 comes out. So it was really fun, and I was really excited. I was really glad that they put that on for us, and they did some radical ideas, like allowing reserves and stuff, and I think that with as honorable as, for the most part, most of the Hex community is, I think that worked out really well. The last thing I want to talk about is the format of this show and how it's going on a permanent hiatus. So I promised myself when I started this that I wasn't going to quit rather easily. I wanted to try to do a month or two of this and see if it was right for me and if anyone was actually interested in this. And I want to force myself to keep going, but at the same time I do recognize that evolution needs to occur, because I'm having a lot of problems. There's a few different reasons why the show isn't doing well. One, I think that I don't really have an audience base, because you have a lot of good podcasts out there with Two Turns Ahead and The Threshold, and now they have On the Draw from the Hex Tech crew themselves. So you have a lot of good players talking about what's going on in the community, and then you don't really need me to talk about it. Oh, and Errant Square. Definitely check Errant Square out. All these people I wanted to plug that I'm not going to have time to do. I was really excited to try to do the show, but I don't think that I'm really touching anyone when it comes to talking about the community or what's going on, and I tried to make that a small part of my show because of that, but I just think it's really unnecessary. I tried to do lore, which I think that what's happened there is a sort of unintended split, where there are some people who just aren't interested in lore. They just care about the technical aspect. I know I got one person to tell me that. But I think that a large part of it is that most of us are actually interested in the lore, have already explored as much of the lore as is out there, and so why do you want to listen to me talk about my feelings about the lore? And that kind of makes sense. I hadn't really considered that. I don't think that I had a good focus for what my show was going to do, and obviously the scope of the show was way above my head. I had to learn how to use YouTube. I had to learn how to use open broadcasting, buy a web camera, learn how to use a web camera, which I've never done before. I had to learn how to use Windows Maker, Movie Maker, which I have used a little bit, but not to this degree, and nothing quite this important, like where I'm actually giving it to other people to look at. So everything was great to learn, but very difficult. The last episode that I tried to do, I had such technical nightmares. It literally took me 24 hours from start to finish to get done, with like 4 or 6 hours of sleep in between trying to get that done. And it was a nightmare. I just wanted to shoot myself in the face after I was done with that episode. And it still did not come out the way I wanted it to. So I think I need to shrink down to something a little easier to deal with. I think that I'm learning a lot, but for now I need to step away from that. What I do, I'm considering trying to do a series on Constructed and explaining how to first get started with constructing your deck. There are a lot of good places to go to learn about advanced tricks. As far as like the basics go, all you really have is there's a couple of videos for the Hex TCG on their YouTube channel, and it's really all just straight up technical. They do a good job of talking about resources, and they do a good job of talking about the different kinds of cards. But other than that, they basically just show you how to take a card and put it into your deck, make the deck valid, and then run around with the deck and play. But it doesn't really tell you how to construct the deck and make the deck actually viable. And so what I want to talk about is the basics of construction. Neo did the same kind of thing with the drafting, and so I want to see if I can produce something like that that might be useful for all the new beta people who are coming in through the Reddit keys and through the Gencon. So you don't really have to be an advanced player to talk about how to do the beginning constructed. An intermediate player like myself should be just fine for it. So hopefully I'll be successful with that and still be able to produce content for the community. So we will see. So let's jump into the contest. So the contest is pretty simple, and it ties into all the things that I've actually talked about. I knew I was going to want to do a contest just to try to get people excited for Shattered Destiny. Not that that's necessary, but, you know, that's my participation, and I wanted to give some things away because that's a lot of fun to be able to give things away, and especially with the new people coming out, I'm hoping that some of them will get to see this show and join this contest when they see the word contest. So you're going to have to do 3 things. Number 1, subscribe to the show on YouTube. Number 2, go back to the forums and leave a post beneath where you found this show. It'll be Eye of the Storm episode 4. Number 3, tell me what race you're most excited about because of Shattered Destiny. It can be a race that's new because of Shattered Destiny, or it could be a race that's already existed. So like it could be like the Shin Hair, it could be the Goblins. It doesn't matter. Whichever race you want, and then tell me why. So you can enter this contest as simple as this. It'd take you like 5 minutes. You ready? Subscribe, go back to the forums, post, leave your YouTube name, your keep name, say Shin Hair, and they're cute. And that's all it takes to enter this contest. Now obviously, the more information that you give me, the more you actually put yourself into it, the more likely you are to win the top 2 prizes. But your participation is all that's required to win the 3rd prize. Okay, so here are the prizes. 3rd place will actually be 3 winners randomly drawn from the pool of people who have followed the rules, subscribed, posted, etc., that did not win the 1st and the 2nd place. So if you don't win 1st and 2nd, you're put into a pool. I'll use a random die roll on either in physical life, or I'll go hunt up a program. They're really easy to find, and I'll use that. And if you're selected, you win the 3rd place, and there'll be 3 of you. So the 3rd place prize is 1 booster pack from Set 1 Shards of Fate, and an Ashahsa Windbourne Acolyte Mercenary. And remember that once you bind this to your account, it's yours forever, and you can never give it away. That's basically what they've decided. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to spread these around so that people can give them to their friends if they don't have enough, or if you don't have one, obviously that's great. But on the heels of Shattered Destiny, according to Corey, is the first chunk of PvE, and I'm really excited about that, and I want to be able to help people get a hold of these mercenaries, because as we get through Set 1, and I'm not sure how this is going to go, but eventually the supply of even the common mercenaries is going to get smaller and smaller. So I need to get, I want to get some of these out there to other people who haven't had access to them. Maybe you're just a PvE player and you don't want to put money into it, so why would you want to spend however much money it costs to get one of these when you can win one for free? Plus you get, you know, one pack. So this is just a token of my appreciation for bothering to enter the contest at all. Again, just to win this, all you have to do, subscribe, post your names, shin hair, they're cute. The better you do, or the more you give me, the more likely you are to win the second and first place prizes. And that's because the winners of those two prizes will be chosen by me subjectively. We'll choose the two that I like the best, and I will award top and second prize to those two. But everybody gets a chance, and that's why I want 3 winners to be in third place, because I want there to be some appreciation for however many people enter. If only 5 people enter, then everybody's a winner. Okay, so the second place prize is 3 Set 1 booster packs from Shards of Fate, a Windbourne Acolyte Ashahsa, and 4 AA Windbourne Acolytes. Because I think that when I definitely I'm going to make a Mercenary, I'm going to lock one of these to my account. And when I go to build that deck, I know I'm going to want to use the Windbourne Acolytes because, I don't know, it's thematic. It sounds like fun. So, but I love the art for this character. I really think they did a good job. And not only is the art really good, but the alternate art just blows the common art away. I have 19 of these common cards. I'm going to tell you right now, if you win one of these acolytes, the mercenaries, and you don't have Windbourne Acolytes for whatever reason, you just let me know, and I will give you a full playset of the common cards. I don't need them because I have 4 alternate arts for my account, so the rest of these are gifts to anyone who wants them. I don't need them. I want you to have them because I think that it'd be fun to use them to make your deck. And I'm hoping that we get to use mercenaries pretty soon into the first chunk of PvE. Since we have already seen the mechanics for her, I'm assuming she's going to be one of the first playable mercenaries. So then the grand prize, the big poopah, the one that's going to win it all, you get 5 Set 1 booster packs from Shards of Fate. You get an Ashahsa Windbourne Acolyte just because why not. But the big one is that you get my other, and I only have 2, you get my other Puck Acolyte. Or Puck Acolyte. I knew I was going to do that. Puck the Dreamer Mercenary. And he's a rare. I only have 2 of them. I want somebody to have it. I think they're like $2 or $3 on the auction house, but why spend money when you can just have one for free? And all you have to do is do a really good explanation as to why you're excited, what race you're excited about, and why you're excited about it. So to give you a little bit of kind of what I'm thinking, and I'm gonna choose something that's kind of obscure because I don't want to take yours. Hopefully, I've actually kind of flitted around. At first, I was excited about the humans because I wanted to see more Inspire, and then it turned out there wasn't going to be that much Inspire. I got really excited about like the tribal that seems to be coming, which is why I'm choosing a race. Like Shinhair and Dwarves seem to have a possibility of maybe actually being competitive in actual tournaments, and that excites me. But and this is kind of cheap, the one that really excites me the most is the construct, and it's because they spoiled this legendary on their site called the Eternal Drifter, which is just an awesome looking card. Sounds like a ton of fun to play this card. And what's really important though is that while he was talking about it in his article, he talked about how the constructs are a mystery or a mysterious race. And I'm like, wait, what? So we had talked on the forums a little bit a long time ago about the difference between constructs and robots, and I'm not going to get into that. But now it looks like, aside from the actual differences that we're normally used to between constructs and robots, it sounds like while robots might become sentient, constructs might actually be a race of their own, which gets really interesting because like Soul Cavalry is a construct that is literally constructed by other people, but Eternal Guardian, we don't know who constructed him or how he came into existence, or it came into existence. And now we have an Eternal Drifter. So now we have two that share the same name, Eternal. They share the same race construct, and they're hinting that maybe there's an actual construct race. And that's got me excited. I don't know why. I'm sure there's not going to be that many constructs in set 2 to really like, oh yeah, especially pertaining to this. So it's probably going to be later. But that's got me excited, because I mean, when you could get me, you got me excited about set 2, and now I'm even like, set 3, 4? Will it be set 5 that we get to see constructs come into play? When's that gonna work? So that's mine. Anyway, so I appreciate that you watched this video. I hope it wasn't too long. Down below there is a set of timestamps that'll help you figure out where you want to be, or if you have to backtrack to reiterate how the contest works. Again, subscribe, go to the forums, put your YouTube name for validation, your keep name for trading, and then post. What race are you most excited about, and why? Alright guys, hopefully I will see you next week. Well, I'll definitely see you next week. I'll do at least a short video to announce the winners.